When you were growing up, you received messages from your family and the world around you that it was not safe, acceptable, or desirable for you to be who you were, just as you were. This has resulted in nice guys who co-create poor relationships with women, they try to hide their flaws and mistakes, put other people's needs and wants before their own, and a whole laundry list of other things. Now, if you're a nice guy and you don't have 10 minutes to watch and understand the lessons in this video, then you'll likely continue to feel unhappy. You might not think you're a nice guy, but you could be. So keep watching to find out if you are one. This is a book summary of No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert Glover. Chapter 1. The Nice Guy Syndrome. Here's some things nice guys say. I'm a nice guy. I'm one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet. And there's also, the other day I cleaned the kitchen and I did a real good job. I loaded the dishwasher, did the pots and pans, and swept the floor. I thought Heather would appreciate all that I was doing to help out. Before I was finished, she walked in and asked, "How come you didn't wipe off the counters, honey?" I wasn't even done, for goodness sake. Then there is the sex thing. After all I do for Heather, you think she'd be willing to give me the one thing I want. All I want is to be loved and appreciated. Is that too much to ask? The label nice guy refers not to their behavior, but to their core beliefs about themselves and the world around them. Nice guys have been wrongly conditioned to believe that if they are nice, they will be loved, get their needs met, and have a smooth life. This is obviously horse shit. Nice guys are dishonest, passive-aggressive, and have difficulty setting boundaries. The working mindset of the nice guy is this: if I can hide my flaws and become what I think others want me to be, then I will be loved, get my needs met, and have a problem-free life. Recovery from nice guy syndrome isn't about going from one extreme to another. The process of breaking free from ineffective nice guy patterns doesn't involve being not nice. Rather, it means becoming integrated. The integrated male knows how to set boundaries and is not afraid to work through conflict. And I'd argue, even if they are afraid to work through conflict, they frickin' do it anyway. So ask yourself the question, why would it seem rational for a person to try to eliminate or hide certain things about himself and try to become something different? Why do people try to change who they are? Let's answer that in the next lesson. Chapter 2, How a Nice Guy is Made. Well, when children come into the world, they are helpless. As a result, every child's greatest fear is abandonment. You may have experienced abandonment on some level from your parents divorcing, a parent leaving, a parent dying, neglect, physical abuse, or emotional abuse. An abandoned child becomes ego-centered. This means that they inherently believe they are the center of the universe and everything revolves around them. Therefore, they believe that they are the cause of everything that happens to them. This leads to believing something is wrong with them, so they don't feel they can be who they are just as they are. This is toxic shame. Abandoned children end up seeking approval from others to soothe their shame. Their behaviors can manifest as the aggressive pursuit of success, working out excessively, trying to fit in by causing drama, trying to be funny, and trying to please others. Moving on to Chapter 3, Learn to please the only person who really matters. Cal is a typical nice guy. He tries to get external validation by always being in a good mood, driving a nice car, dressing well, and having a cute daughter. Cal likes to dress his 14-month-old daughter in a cute dress and take her to the park. From the moment he begins to dress her, he is unconsciously attaching his value and identity to the acknowledgement he thinks he will receive from being a good dad. Just about everything a nice guy does is consciously or unconsciously calculated to gain someone's approval or to avoid disapproval. Free yourself of seeking approval by identifying your approval-seeking behaviors and then putting a stop to them. Chapter 4. Make your needs a priority. Nice guys generally focus their attention on meeting everyone else's needs while trying to be low-maintenance kind of guys themselves. This pattern among nice guys is a result of childhood conditioning. When a child's needs are not met in a timely, healthy manner, he may think that it is his needs that cause people to hurt him or abandon him. Beneath this act of needlessness and wantlessness, all nice guys are actually extremely needy. Consequently, when they are trying to get their needs met, nice guys can be indirect, unclear, manipulative, and controlling. So here's some things you do that prevent you from getting your needs met. One is making it difficult for others to give to you. It was when you had the most needs that you felt most abandoned. You believed it was your needs that drove people away. So allow other people to help you to become a more integrated male and get your needs met. The second is using covert contracts. The nice guy's covert contract is, I will do something for you so that in return, you will do something for me. But we will both act as if we have no awareness of this contract. So I challenge you to think for a moment. Identify at least one covert contract between you and someone you care about. Chapter 5. 5 ways to reclaim your power. The first is set boundaries. For the next week, observe yourself. Do you say yes when you would rather say no? Clearly establish what you are willing to tolerate and what you aren't. For example, one of my boundaries in a relationship is that I'm not willing to sacrifice eating healthy food any less than 5 days per week, every week, for the rest of my life. Number 2 is surrender the things you cannot control. Number 3 is face your fears head on. Number 4 is develop integrity. And number 5, express your feelings. And I want to harp on about this one because I believe it's one of the most important, to face your feelings. Not even just express them to someone else, but to actually face your own bullshit. Enough of putting the music headphones in to distract yourself from your own self, your own feelings, your own emotions. Feelings are an integral part of human existence. By learning the language of feelings, recovering nice guys like yourself can begin to let go of a lifetime of unnecessary baggage. And boy, as you do, you might just come to the point where finally you feel that you are Charlie and you have just won the golden ticket to Willy Wonka's factory. Chapter 6. Reclaim your masculinity. Boys growing up without the presence of male role models has helped shape the problem of nice guys. Following the Industrial Revolution, fathers had to leave their sons and work in factories and offices while their sons were raised mostly by their mothers and other women. This social conditioning has the effect of nice guys being disconnected from other men. Fix this by making friends with masculine male role models. In Chapter 7, you're going to learn how to get the love you want. Relationships. So why do nice guys struggle to get the love they want? Well, most nice guys do not report having had a close relationship with their father in childhood, and as a result, many nice guys were forced into an unhealthy bond with their mother. The tendency of nice guys to be monogamous to their mothers seriously inhibits having any kind of a genuinely intimate relationship with a partner in adulthood. Nice guys co-create dysfunctional relationships. They try to balance their fear of vulnerability with the fear of isolation. Vulnerability means someone may get too close to them and see how bad they are. Nice guys are convinced that when others make this discovery, these people will hurt them, shame them, or leave them. The alternative doesn't seem any better. Isolating themselves from others recreates the abandonment experiences that were so terrifying in childhood. In order to balance this fear of vulnerability and fear of abandonment, a nice guy needs help. He finds it in people who are equally wounded and also have difficulty with intimacy. Together, they co-create relationships that simultaneously frustrate everyone involved while protecting them from their fear of being found out. There are 2 types of nice guys, enmeshers and avoiders. Enmeshers are overly involved in an intimate relationship at the expense of oneself and other outside interests. Avoiders, on the other hand, are emotionally unavailable to a primary partner while playing the nice guy role outside of the relationship. So how do you get the love you want? Well, what you need to do is set boundaries. When a recovering nice guy sets boundaries with his partner, it makes her feel secure. In general, when women feel secure, they feel loved. Setting boundaries also creates respect. When a nice guy fails to set boundaries, it communicates to his partner that he doesn't really honor himself. So why should she? Moving on to Chapter 8, how to get the sex you want. The first step is to come out of the closet. Internalized shame and fear are the greatest barriers to a satisfying sex life. You can read all the books you want or take all the $3,000 boot camps over in Las Vegas, but none of these things will help get the sex you want, so as long as you have unaddressed shame and fear about being sexual. Number 2, talk about it. Find a safe place to talk about your sexual history, your earliest sexual memory, childhood experiences, sexual violation, trauma, sexual issues in your family. And number 3, be sexual with yourself without pornography and fantasizing. Until you can be sexual with yourself without using porn or fantasy to distract yourself, you won't be able to have healthy sex. Pornography creates a trance in which you can be sexual while staying distracted from your shame and fear. Pornography compounds shame because it's usually hidden, and fantasy is a form of disassociation. It's the process of separating one's body from one's mind. The only thing fantasy accomplishes is to distract you from your shame and fear or cover up the fact that you are having bad sex. Number 4. Say no to bad sex. Hate to break it to you, laddie, but it's time to abandon that fantasy of inserting your jolly manga into easy sixes from Bangkok. When you decide you will no longer settle for anything less than good sex, you will begin to take responsibility for doing something different. You will let go of the concept of being a great lover. You will practice being clear and direct. You will choose an available partner. You will decide that bad sex is not better than no sex. And last of all, follow the example of the bull moose. In nature, the alpha male and the bull moose don't sit around trying to figure out what will make the girls like them. They are themselves, fierce, strong, competitive, and sexually proud. Because they are what they are and do what they do. The chicks are attracted. Before we head into the recap, here's a last message for you. As you look at the reality of your life, ask yourself 2 questions. First, are you creating the life you want? Second, if not, why not? It's likely because of fear. Face your fears head on, for that's the only way to get the life you want. So let's recap. In today's video, you learned the nice guy syndrome, which is the conditioned belief that they will be loved, get their needs met, and have a smooth life. You learned about the making of a nice guy. Due to parental issues growing up, nice guys feel abandoned and become ego-centered as a result. Stop people-pleasing. Make your needs a priority. Reclaim your personal power by setting boundaries, surrendering the things you can't control, facing your fears, developing integrity, and expressing your feelings. Make friends with masculine male role models. Get the love you want. Nice guys are afraid of opening up to a partner, but also afraid of being alone, so they are rarely comfortable. To fix this, set boundaries. Get the sex you want by talking about it in a safe space with other men. Learn to be sexual with yourself without pornography or fantasy. Say no to bad sex and be grounded in yourself. And finally, get the life you want by facing your fears.